Okay.
Oh,
You should have a set of eyes in your envelope too, so.
Okay,
What?
so you just burn each side of it down to the.
One side, no, yeah, turn it more. Once it starts to burn, hold it vertical.
This way?
Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
Oh, hold it vertical.
Okay, let it burn. Now blow it out right there. All right. Let it cool and then turn it over and then burn the other side.
Okay.
Well,
What do you think?
Hold it vertical, or yeah. Once it starts to burn, hold it vertical. All right.
That's so much fun.
You'll
what?
Yeah.
Keeps blowing
This
around.
is
Okay.
this is the
I
monofilament, the
don't
blue and
know.
black.
No, it's no, but I think you have it in your hand with it's.
And this
No,
one,
maybe
that's
not.
what's got a little
Feather.
feather in it?
It's really, really
Thin.
What's that?
hard to see
Ow.
because it's clear.
So
It's-
is that?
Yes. Yes.
This one is smaller than the other, but I guess it's okay.
It does have a little feather in there.
yeah, there should be two. Here, I'm gonna start just setting these things here.
Do you need more monofilament to burn the eyes?
Nope. Oh, nope, I found it.
No.
Good. I think it's sort of droopy.
Get it about halfway.
There it goes.
Is that his eyeballs?
Yes, that's the eyeballs. You
No,
can
I
tie it
think
for the.
I think mine.
All right, this is a damsel fly nymph, and as opposed to dragonflies, these damsel flies are long and slender.
I burn it up
The
like that.
dragonfly
Yep.
nymph is
And let
really
it
kind of
Hold it. Nope.
really
So hold
robust
it
and more
until it
round,
dries.
looks
So
like a
hold it in
beetle.
place.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
very,
Oh,
very
seems to be dry,
pernicious,
then
and
flip it 180.
damsel
and do the other
flies.
side, let
You
it
can
burn
use these
straight.
flies in a lake or really slow moving water, like on the Dream Stream.
Like
There's
that?
a couple
Yeah.
backwaters.
At that time, didn't we use damsel flies on Crystal Lake?
Yes, when they're in the water, in the air,
They're so cool.
Crystal Lake.
they work
Yeah.
really well. And you would be surprised with how much, it's surprising how much the trout are seeing. They're looking up in the air and they notice all this stuff above you. you
Yeah,
know?
no, I've done that.
Does he have two feathers?
No, just one is all I
Okay, I
had.
think the other one is a
feel
little
like-
bit-
Show
Okay.
some of this in front of the camera as you go.
No, I only ever had.
Okay.
Maybe
No,
there's,
there might be a little one.
Okay, the other thing we got to
I feel like
prepare
this
no.
is the CDC. These are called the
There's
canard.
bugs in there.
These are the butt feathers of a duck, and they have a natural built-in
This
floating
he's
material
putting
in
Duck butt.
duck butt.
Oh,
Right.
there it
Flies
is.
in
Okay.
There was one in there. Okay.
Now, what you want to do with these feathers,
Now I just lost my bullet. Keep talking.
if you run out of feathers, I have more.
And I have some too.
You have some.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to trim these up a little bit. Right now, these are too fluffy. Okay.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take your scissors and give it like a haircut. We're going to trim off all of that fluffy stuff. So it's like, it's a black background.
Put it in front of the camera. Oh, yeah, good.
Okay. So you want to trim all that
Okay.
fluffy stuff off. Okay.
All right, there goes the fluff.
So we're
Here comes
gonna,
the
you can trim this on your own design. You can trim it straight. You can do all kinds of designs in here. But to make this thing float, it floats really well. But just to streamline it a little bit, we just want to trim off some of that fluffy stuff.
Did I trim off enough?
Yeah, trim it a little bit more on the left-hand side. Yeah. Good,
Your
good, good.
left-hand side
Okay.
or my left-hand side?
Your left, that side. And here's the problem. You got to make both of them look the same.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have CDC feathers, we got more. So you want to burn the eyes and trim the wings before you start tying.
Okay.
So do we trim both of these?
Yes, you want them to look alike, have the same kind of shape. You can see that the feather has a curve, a natural curve to it. So we're going to have it so that the curve on both sides is pointing to the rear of the fly.
Okay.
Okay? So when you're selecting feathers and you're trimming, the whole idea is that they're going to be pointing to the rear of the fly. Okay?
How's that?
Yeah, good. If you trimmed it just
Trim
a
it
little
down
bit
a bit
more.
more.
Yeah, yeah.
And then show yours on the camera when you're done.
Okay? Again, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect. They don't have to be a perfect match, but being a fly char, you know, you want to do that kind of stuff. Okay, so in your envelope too, I provided you with a size 12 dry fly hook. If you go in there, let me know if you don't have one.
Yeah, is this a left-handed hook?
It's a left-handed vise, though. You can...
Yes, you notice I have a,
And what color thread? Black? What are we tying with?
Yeah, black thread or dark.
Not green.
Green is okay.
Okay.
Green
It's
is
not
okay.
loaded anyway.
Okay, 8/0 or 6/0 thread, whatever you have.
I don't know why it's moving.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Oh. Anybody want to pinch the barbs?
I was looking.
I was gonna say,
didn't
I'm in
see
my
it.
vice already, so
Yeah.
I'll do it when
I'll do mine
I.
later.
I'm not fishing yet. Oh. That's a good idea, though. You know,
Badger tie.
taking the hook out of a fish is so much easier when you depress the barb.
I
And
usually do it before.
yeah.
I was looking, I didn't see it. The barb on it.
Good ass one.
And it's hard to do that when you're on the stream. It's so much easier to do. Okay. Normally, if I wrote my second book, it would say something about using the thread. On this fly, it's very similar to other types of fly that you're tying stuff onto the hook. And in that case, sometimes if you're not careful, all of that material, like a caddis fly pattern, elk hair caddis, will spin around your hook if you don't latch it on properly. And so this is one fly too that will turn on you if you don't use your thread properly or use what I use a super glue. I touch the thread with a super glue to keep it from spinning around the shank of the hook. All right, but in this case, we're gonna come behind the eye of the hook. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go the full length of the body of the shank and then come forward and then tie that off. You have to have, on some materials of a fly, you have to create this texture of the thread rather than the real slick shininess of the barb of the hook, which has no traction at all. And so I don't want this to spin. And I would do the same thing with caddis fly patterns too, where I'm using elk hair and it just has a tendency to just spin around in circles, you know. Also, this glue, did I remember to bring something?
So stay at the tail. At the end.
This is hot stuff.
Did you wrap back to the
I'm gonna
front
touch.
pin?
What's that?
Did you wrap back to the front? Or
Yeah,
just,
back to the eye, right behind the eye of the hook.
Okay.
So do you go all the way to the bend?
Yes. And then come forward.
I am out of practice.
Me too. There we go, okay.
Oh, I was so glad that we were able to do this because, fly tying has always been something that I've looked forward to. It's very calming and soothing for me.
Me too.
And if it's one thing I wanted to get back to normal, I wanted to get back to this group fly tying and tying flies because it is just so fundamentally just good for my head,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Thank you.
it's good. Well, thank you
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
and all of you because it's we did leave here last year at the same time, so it's good to be back again.
Yes, it
doing
is,
this,
yeah. I've been looking forward to this.
And it was one of those things I kept thinking through all of the
kept having to say,
pandemic and
"It's
everything.
okay,
I'm like,
Beth,
this will be the
you
thing
don't
that.
do very well.
Yeah.
So it's my
I gotta make a new pair of eyes. I
Well, I
lost
have
my
a little
eye.
bit of a lump there. Hope I went back.
Ken, remind me,
I did.
if you spin your bobbin counterclockwise, does it flatten the thread? Or is it clockwise that flattens the thread? I always forget.
No, what was the question again?
I think if you just let it hang, it'll naturally unwind, won't it?
If you spin your bobbin clockwise, is that the one that flattens the thread?
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I buy thread that's also flattened. It's not round. It's flat.
Oh,
So,
Oh, I remember you
but
saying that.
what thread do you buy?
the usage of thread for me, I've never had a need except for tying Atlantic salmon flies to use flat thread. I just go to a finer diameter and wrap it that way and not have to deal with. Okay, you got your eyes?
Got my eye, I was just
Okay.
making sure it was still
Now
there.
I did a drawing for you.
Uh,
Now, where do you put your eyes? You're gonna put your eyes.
on the tail.
No.
We're really rusty.
Only if he's cute.
Smart ass. Right. I put my eyes on your tail.
We have a lot of smart assery to get out after a year. Catching up to do.
I don't know if our monofilament is big enough to make eyes for that. But close. Okay, see, where do you put the eyes?
Maximum.
See the eye of the hook?
30 pound.
Yeah.
You're gonna, let's say that's 1/8 of an inch, the area of the length of the hook, the eye of the hook. Well, you're gonna want to come back 1/8 of an inch. You're gonna tie it in right back here. So we got to leave a little space between the eye of the hook and the eyes, the burnt eyes. Can you see that little?
Is that
space there?
about a hook
So
eye
should we?
No, it's the eye. The
It's
difference between here and
and the eye? So
Yeah.
it's almost like an eye width.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That we want the thread to be back? Do we want the thread all the way up to the eye of the
Yes, you're
Okay.
gonna see how
And
that
then
plays
we're
in
gonna wrap
later.
back.
But when we start to tie in the eye of the eyes, the burnt eyes, we got to have a little space between the eyes and the eye of the hook here. You'll
Okay,
see
gotcha.
that. That's how we finish
Now
the
I
fly
understand.
right back there. But we need a little space there. Okay, so I'm gonna get my eye.
Oh no, I lost
And-
my eye.
Say, I'm trying to get.
I got my eyes.
I
on
hear
One
but
of
it's
mine
too busy
eyes
looking at
flopped
Ken.
down, so I don't know.
Just lost
My eyes kind of have a little curvy thing. They look like a little space.
Yeah,
area
we'll
in
see.
there.
There.
Yeah. Oh no. It's
Okay.
just gonna be cockeyed.
Now, how do we tie them on?
Yeah.
It goes like that, right there, and let me go to another drawing. This is what it should look like.
Okay.
Oh.
And we're gonna do a figure 8 wrap around the eye.
Oh, we are.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sure.
It's
we
like
are.
how you would tie dumbbells on.
These are
Yeah.
too far apart, aren't they? Mine?
Well, no, you'll see. It'll be all right.
Okay.
That'll be all right.
Okay.
So do you put them underneath or on top?
On top.
Okay.
On top, and then I have to figure.
You can you got a little room you can play around with. All right.
Wait, let
And
me see. Remember which way I was wrapping.
But remember, we need a little space there, so don't put it
Right
up against the eye of the hook because we need that space there.
Okay.
Alright,
That's gonna take some practice.
turning.
There we go.
Alright,
Use figure 8 wraps, go around and around, and
whoop, sit, stay. Come on.
I'll keep falling down.
I thought this was a design class.
Now I've lost track of my
what are you
figure eights.
doing over
we
there?
I'm not sure.
Just a simple figure 8 wrap.
Oh,
go. I really like my little eyes. That's
no. Here it is. My eye fell off.
My eyes fell off, and I think I need to find it, get a new
Oh,
pair.
you didn't, you lost your eye.
I lost my eyes.
What are we gonna do? You want another pair?
Yeah. They're right.
She's got it.
I got
Yeah.
it. I have it.
So I don't
Right
know
here.
whether- are
Oh, you have it?
Yeah.
About an inch.
Okay.
Okay, now, I would recommend that in order to avoid this thing turning on you, that you hit it with a little bit of glue. I have some glue here for you.
Okay,
There you go.
Do you have a needlepoint tool?
That's the hardest. It's hard to see.
I know.
Oh, I thought I stuck it in here. No, I guess I don't.
You have anything with a point on it?
Glue's all dry
Do you want? What do you do? Do you want that
Right
guy?
here.
Oh,
Is that better?
yeah, just use the tip of it. All right.
Okay, I can do this.
See this one right here?
This one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Take a little bit of that and put it on the threads.
okay.
And if you want, glue the whole threaded area.
Okay, my guy's gonna be right.
What are you guys doing? It shouldn't be that difficult. Just lay it up on there and you do some figure 8 wraps and run.
He's
All
looking
right.
to the left.
When you use the cyanolactite glue, it's better to use very little.
Okay.
That will stay moist as long as it's out there in a large tub.
So do I need to tie anything off or?
Here
I'm
you
just
go.
gonna
No.
Back here's the glue.
Oh, sweet.
I am really excited. This is the cutest little
It
thing so
should
far.
look like this, right?
Show that. Move that picture over again. Yeah, right there. Good.
So cute.
Hold on, I'm almost with you.
Okay. Moving along, folks.
Give me a minute.
I have to use his eyes. Don't look at me like that.
Inside your envelope, you have the body material, which is this blue and black stuff.
Okay.
This is the Damsel Fly Body material. And it's got a curve to it, okay? So we're gonna put the curve so it goes in pointing up,
I think I just glued my
like this.
eye with my, does anybody have a pen?
What do you need?
Needle? I think I glued the, I guess I can do it later.
I have a vodka.
You glued
I
the
think I got glue on the
eye of the hook?
She's making.
Yeah. Yeah, you could take that out later.
Okay.
Okay, so where? Okay, those of you follow.
Huh?
Yes, I'm with you. All right. What are we doing? The long one or the short one? The long one. This one?
No, the
No.
short one, striped one.
The black and blue. These are the colors of the damsel flies that we have around here. You know that.
Okay.
You know, and they're really delicate looking. So this blue-black thing, it goes in right behind the eye of the hook. I mean, the eye of the damsel fly.
The
And
eye.
use your thread.
Can you show that picture to the camera? Up a little bit. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we tie it on behind the eyes.
Yes.
All right, and then we wrap it back to the.
Bend of the hook.
Okay.
Remember, it's got a bend to it, the material. So you want the
Yeah.
bend to be pointing up.
Oh,
What
up.
makes it easier to, yes, you want it to be
Oh.
pointing out.
Oh, I had it down. I'm going to see.
It's hard to fight the tendency, the natural tendency of, so start right behind the eye, and then you can have control over this as you bring the thread, wrap the thread back
Control.
to like this.
And are you trying, you are covering the material as you go.
So the,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was wondering, how far apart do you wrap?
So it's a
Oh,
tight wrap.
okay, so it's
So
a
what-
solid wrap.
It's a solid, like.
Yeah, yeah.